Hello, everyone, and welcome back to the family. There are thank yous worth their weight in gold, but there are also thank yous that unintentionally invite a death sentence. Huyen has regained his memory. The scene of him kneeling to thank the scrap-collecting grandmother who saved his life is like a fairy tale. But tragedy strikes his very appearance signaled the wolves to find the den. Huyen just turned his back, and his benefactor's cottage burst into flames. A secret USB, hidden behind a portrait, a 5 billion dong debt note, forcing a mother to kill her son, and the ruthless Black Dragon Group. Huyen is flooring it at 120 Komima Chow to get back. But can he save his second mother from the inferno? Or will only ashes of regret remain? An episode soaked in tears, and the fire of hatred smash that like button to give Huyen strength and subscribe immediately to join his death race, decoding the 5 billion secret and the rescue in the sea of fire. The red dirt road leading to Grandma Nam's thatched hut seemed longer than usual today. The afternoon wind rustled through the bamboo thickets, playing a melancholic tune. Huyen walked slowly. He was no longer the wandering, dazed, foolish Huyen from months ago. Today he wore a crisp white shirt and dress pants, returning with the tall, dignified stature of an architect. But in his eyes, the usual arrogance was gone, replaced by welling emotion. DM walked beside him, clutching his hand, understanding the storm brewing inside him. "Do you remember this place?" she whispered. Huyen nodded, his voice choking up. "I do. That banyan tree is where she picked me up when I fainted from hunger. And that pond bank? That's where I used to sit blankly waiting for you to pick me up." Memories flooded back like a waterfall. Huyen remembered that stormy night, when he was bashed in the head, lost all memory, and thrown to the curb like a stray dog. The whole world turned its back on him. Only Grandma Nam, an old scrap collector with a back bent to the ground, who didn't hesitate to help him. She had no money. She scraped together pennies from selling beer cans to buy rice for his porridge. "Eat, son. Eat it while it's hot. You poor thing, you must be starving, huh?" That sentence, that bowl of watery porridge, Huyen swore he would never forget it, even if he ate delicacies for the rest of his life. It was the porridge of rebirth. Before them, the crooked little hut appeared. Kitchen smoke drifted up. An old woman sat on the porch, trembling hands sewing a torn shirt, the shirt Huyen had left behind. "Grandma!" Huyen's voice rang out, breaking the silence. Grandma Nam started, looked up, squinting her cloudy eyes toward the gate. "Who is it? Is that T?" T was the name she called Huyen when he had amnesia. Huyen rushed forward, casting aside the pride of a successful man. He collapsed to his knees right at her feet on the cold ground. "Grandma, it's me, Huyen. I've come back to you." Grandma Nam tremblingly reached out her rough, callous hand like dry tree bark to touch Huyen's face. "T? No. Mr. Huyen, you remember now. You remember the way home?" I remember everything." Huyen held her hand to his cheek, tears streaming down. "I'm sorry for leaving without saying goodbye. Today I'm here to thank you. If it weren't for you, I would have died in a ditch somewhere, Grandma." Then Huyen stood up, taking 3 steps back. He straightened his clothes, stood solemnly, and then slowly bowed 90 degrees. A bow of the deepest, most profound respect. "Grandma Nam, you are my second mother. This debt of saving my life, I dong van Huyen." will etch into my bones and heart. For the rest of my life, I vow to be your son and grandson, to take care of you." The atmosphere felt heavy with emotion. Diem stood nearby, unable to hold back her tears. The image of a tall man bowing to a poor old woman created a beautifully human scene. Grandma Nam gave a toothless smile, gentle as a bodhisattva. "Oh, stop it, son. Stand up. I didn't help you expecting repayment. I saw you looked like my late son, so I felt for you. Now that you're lucid and you've become such a dignified man, I'm very happy. My mind is at ease now." Grandma Nam pulled Ton and Diem to sit on the bamboo cot, pouring them bowls of hot tea buds. "Drink up, children. It's just rustic tea, not as tasty as the sodas in the city. It's delicious, Grandma. Better than anything else." Ton drank it all, feeling the sweet aftertaste in his throat. Diem finally stepped closer, holding the old woman's gaunt hands. "Grandma, I'm Diem Ton's wife. I thank you 1,000 times. When I was most desperate, not knowing if my husband was dead or alive, you sheltered him. You saved my husband's life. You saved my family's happiness." Diem pulled out a thick envelope, trying to press it into her hand. But Grandma Nam brushed it away sharply. "Put it away. Are you trying to buy an old woman's affection? I'm poor in money, but I'm not poor in heart." "No, please don't misunderstand," Diem explained hurriedly. "This isn't payment. This is a small gift for you to buy medicine, to buy a warm coat for winter. Please accept it to make us happy." Toan also pleaded, "Please take it, Grandma. I promise whenever I have free time, I'll bring Diem and the grandkids to visit you. We'll fix this roof so it doesn't leak anymore." Grandma Nam looked at the two children, sighed and nodded to accept it for their sake. She stroked Toan's head, then Diem's. "All right, if it comes from your heart, I'll take it. But remember what I told you, this. The world out there is full of storms, especially for a talented man like you, Toan. There will be many people who are jealous and want to harm you. You must be careful. Live honestly, but don't trust people so blindly like before, okay?" Her advice was simple, yet it held the weight of a lifetime of experience, sounding like a prophecy for the coming storms Ton would face as he returned to the business world. It was fully dark now. It was time to say goodbye. Toan hugged Grandma Nam tight one last time. The smell of betel nut and kitchen smoke on her shirt made him reluctant to leave. "I'm going now. Grandma, please take care of your health. I'll be back this weekend." "Yes, go on, son. The dark roads are hard to travel." Grandma Nam stood at the gate, waving goodbye. Toan and Diem got into the car parked at the head of the alley. The car rolled away, gradually disappearing behind the village bamboo hedge. Grandma Nam stood there watching until the taillights completely vanished. And this is when something strange happened. The gentle smile on Grandma Nam's lips instantly extinguished. Her face became pensive, worried, and held a look that was unusually sharp, nothing like the senile appearance she had shown earlier. She turned back into the house, closed the door, and bolted it carefully. She walked to the altar, where the portrait of her deceased son stood. She reached behind the photo frame. Hidden there was not money, but an old locked wooden box. Grandma Nam opened the box. Inside was an object wrapped in red silk. She unfolded the cloth. It was a black USB drive engraved with a small dragon. She held the USB up, whispering to her son's photo. "Tai, I'm sorry. I didn't dare give this to Mr. Tone. I was afraid he would face danger just like you did. But it seems fate has arranged for him to be the one to decode the secret. It turned out Grandma Nam wasn't just a random scrap-collecting old woman. Her son used to work for the very rival corporation of Ton's, and he had died mysteriously. This USB was the only thing he left behind before he died. And during the time Tone lost his memory here, she had intended to give it to him many times, but fear held her back. Grandma Nam was lost in thought when suddenly dogs barked furiously in the alley. Not the bark of welcoming a friend. It was the alarm bark of an intruder. Heavy footsteps stomped into the courtyard. Grandma Nam hurriedly stuffed the USB into her breast pocket and blew out the oil lamp. Bung, bung, bung. The knocking sounded more like hammer blows. Old hag, open up. We know Tone was just here. The voices were unfamiliar, aggressive, and male. Grandma Nam pressed herself into the corner of the wall, clutching her chest. She realized that Toan, coming back to thank her, had inadvertently led the wolves to the den. They had been tracking Toan. Toan and Diem had left safely, but they had unknowingly left a deadly danger for their benefactor. Grandma Nam peeked through the crack in the door, seeing flashlight beams sweeping around and the glint of knives. She smiled a smile of resilience. Toan, live a good life. I will keep this secret to protect you one last time. Toan and Diem left in happiness and gratitude, completely unaware that behind them, their second mother was facing the Grim Reaper. What does the USB Grandma Nam holds contain? The car rolled away from Grandma Nam's village, leaving the rare piece behind. Inside the car, a heavy atmosphere hung in the air. Tone gripped the steering wheel eyes, staring straight ahead, but his mind was reeling like a rewinding film reel. His memory had returned, but the pain was just beginning. What are you thinking about? Diem placed a hand on her husband's shoulder, asking anxiously. Tuan let out a sharp breath, his voice hardening. I'm thinking about Mom. Diem fell silent. She knew that was the biggest wound. A birth mother hiring someone to kill her son. Is there any pain greater than that? But Tone shook his head. Diem, doesn't it seem absurd to you? I know what kind of person my mother is better than anyone. She's a farmer. She's worked in the mud all her life. She can't even read a single word. She loved me more than anything, starving herself to feed me and put me through school. Toan slammed his hand on the steering wheel. How could a simple rural woman like that know how to buy high-value insurance? How would she know how to stage an accident to fool the police? And most importantly, where would she get the guts to kill her only son? Diem reflected, then nodded. You mean she was forced? There is definitely someone behind this. Toan's eyes flashed with a cold, sharp look. My mom might be greedy for money, but she's a coward. For her to dare to hold a knife, to dare to hire a hitman, the person behind this must be a devil. He didn't just use money to lure her. He definitely has leverage on her or threatened her with something terrible. But who did you make enemies with anyone? Toan furrowed his brow. He was an architect. He worked with his head and his pen. He lived a quiet life, no drinking, no gambling, no fighting. His enemies could only come from work. Toan decided not to go back to the rental house. He drove straight to his old home, the place where he and his mother used to live, where the tragedy began. The house had been sealed off after Mrs. Mai was arrested. Weeds had overgrown the yard. The rusty iron gate creaked like a weeping ghost. Tuan broke the lock and stepped inside. The smell of mold hit his nose. Everything was exactly as it was the day of his accident. A half-eaten bowl of rice on the table was covered in mold. He walked into his mother's bedroom. On the wall, all his certificates of merit from elementary school to university were still hanging. Mrs. Mai had hung them in the most respectful place. He opened her wardrobe. Only a few sets of old, worn brown clothes. Under the pillow, he found a cloth wallet. Inside, there was no money, only a photo of Tone as a child and a crumpled piece of paper. Tuan held the scrap of paper up to his phone's flashlight. It was a loan agreement. Not just one, but dozens of them. Loan 50 million, 100 million, 500 million. Interest piling on top of interest. The total debt amounted to a staggering figure, 5 billion dong. Diem looked at the number, dizzy with shock. Oh my God, what did Mom do to owe this much gambling? Tuan flipped to the back of the last note. There was a hastily scrawled line in his mother's messy handwriting. He said if I don't pay, he'll chop off Tuan's hand. He'll burn Tuan's career to the ground. I'm so sorry, son. I had no other choice. Tuan trembled, his tears dropping onto the paper. So that was it. She didn't try to kill him because she hated him. She tried to kill him, to save him. It was the twisted, blinded logic of an uneducated mother driven to a dead end. The loan sharks had psychologically manipulated her, kill him, to get the insurance money to pay the debt. Use that money to let him rest in peace. It's better than letting him live as a cripple without hands or feet. But who was the creditor? Tone looked down at the bright red stamp in the corner of the note. It wasn't some common street gang. It was a logo of a coiled black dragon. Black Dragon Finance Company. Black Dragon. Tone muttered the name. A chilling memory shot down his spine. He grabbed DM and ran to his office. The room was a mess like a battlefield. The computer was smashed. The file cabinets were ransacked. They had come here looking for something after his accident. Tuan swept aside the pile of messy papers on the floor and pulled an old leather-bound notebook from a secret compartment under the desk. Luckily, they had missed it. This was his work journal. He flipped back to the entries from 6 months ago. Date? Black Dragon Group approached. They want me to design the underground aquarium project. Record-breaking fee, $1 million. Date? I refused. The geology there is unstable. Building there would destroy the ecosystem and cause the collapse of the nearby residential area. I cannot sell my professional conscience. Date: 1 week before the accident. The director of Black Dragon threatened me. He said, if you don't draw it for me, I'll make sure you never draw again, and I will extract that design from your head at any cost. Tuan slammed the notebook shut. The full picture was now crystal clear. They couldn't bribe him, so they switched to trapping his mother in gambling and debt. Forcing his mother to kill him for insurance money was part of it, but their main goal was to stage an accident so they could raid his place and steal the computer data and draft sketches he was holding. And more importantly, if he died, the copyright to the idea would become ownerless, making it easy for them to steal and construct, regardless of the consequences. It's the underground aquarium project. Tuan gritted his teeth, gripping the edge of the table until his knuckles turned white. Just for a project, they turned my mother into a murderer and me into a cripple. But honey, DM asked, the computer is smashed. Did they get the data? Toan shook his head. No. I'm careful. I didn't save the original drawing on the computer. I saved it on a special encrypted USB drive. So where is that USB? Tuan closed his eyes, trying to remember. The night of the accident. The rain. The beating. Did he drop it? Or did someone take it? Suddenly, the image of Grandma Nam appeared. It wasn't a coincidence that she saved him. It wasn't a coincidence that she appeared right at that moment. And the look in her eyes when they said goodbye this afternoon, that look held a secret. Damn it! Toan exclaimed. The USB might be with Grandma Nam, or she knows where it is. What? DM panicked. Then she's in danger. Black Dragon is definitely hunting for that USB too. If they know we just visited her. Before he could finish, DM's phone rang. It was Grandma Nam's neighbor, whose number DM had asked for earlier. DM tremblingly answered and put it on speaker. Chaos barking dogs and screaming echoed through the phone. Ms. DM, are you guys back yet? Turn around immediately. Grandma Nam's house is on fire. Some gangsters just barged in and beat her. They were asking about data and blueprints. She's badly hurt. No. Toan screamed. His bad feeling was right. His return had unintentionally pointed the enemy straight to his benefactor. They didn't just want to kill him. They wanted to exterminate anyone connected to the underground aquarium design. Get in the car. Hurry. Tone bolted to the car like an arrow. DM ran after him, her face drained of blood. The car roared to life, spun around, and tore into the night. Tuan floored the gas pedal. The speedometer climbed 80-100, 120 km/h. Only one thought remained in his mind. Save Grandma Nam. She saved his life once. He couldn't let her die because of him. But it was a 30-minute drive back. Would he make it in time? Or would nothing remain but a pile of ashes? And who is standing behind Black Dragon? Is it the Scarface director? Or is there a more terrifying force someone Tone once called teacher or friend? Because Tone suddenly remembered only one person knew he frequently took the route by Grandma Nam's house. That was his close friend, the partner, who had once sketched this project with him. My dear friends, the truth is slowly being revealed. Toan's mother was just a pawn on the chessboard of greedy men. The real conspiracy lies in the billion-dollar blueprint and the cruelty of the Black Dragon Group. Grandma Nam is in critical condition. The thatched hut is in flames. And the real traitor might be closer to Tone than he thinks. What will Tone do? Turn the car around to save Grandma Nam, or drive straight to Black Dragon HQ for revenge? Don't miss a single second. Smash that like button to give Tone strength and subscribe immediately. The next episode will be a bloody night, the fire of injustice, and the true face of the traitor.